Dr. Robert, we're live.
Okay. So should we start or just wait for a few minutes? Okay. All right. So let's start. I mean, since it's going to be recorded. Welcome to today's session. I think your regular host, Dr. Hibbah Osei-Kwasi, is not available, and as usual, I'm sitting in on her behalf. And today we are going to be having a very important discussion that will be led by one of our own, Dr. Evans Asamani Atia, who is a public health nutritionist. Evans is not a new person. He's been doing some of the sessions for a while now, and today we are privileged to have him again. And he will be discussing with us on a very important topic. I'm very sure that you agree with me that we all at one point go for fast food. So we grab fast food when we are at work because, you know, we probably are unable to, don't have the time to cook. And some of these fast foods are detrimental to our health. And so today's discussion is going to shed light on fast foods. And Dr. Evans would argue that we can avoid them. And so if we can avoid them, then what do we do? What are some of the healthier choices that we can make? And so I would want to say that this is going to be an interactive session, and please feel free to contribute. You can either just stop Evans and ask your question or contribute to it, or send a question to the chat box and I would pick them, or Evans will pick them. And yeah, so let's make it an interactive session rather than a presentation. So Evans, without much ado, I think the floor is yours now. And I am hoping that at the end of this session, I'm going to learn something, because I was just eating. I just grabbed something from the fast food vendor. I think that after today, I'm going to change my habit. So yes, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Robert. That's really good. Thank you. And thank you for introducing me. So yeah, I think you're right. Today we'll try to see how we can reduce and not, I know, yeah, in some extent, to some extent, maybe avoid, but not avoid entirely. So we'll try to look at it and see, is it even feasible? Can we do that? How can we do that? And that's what we'll be going through today. So let me try to share my screen so that with my presentation here. Okay, so this is not new to us. We all have had fast foods, convenience foods. We have either had one or two along the week or even today. I just want to start by trying to find out among us, how many have had fast foods today? Maybe Robert, you can help me pick out the number. How many? And this is, as Robert said, he'll be number one because he just had one now. How many have had fast foods today or convenience food?
Yeah, you can just type in the chat box and say I, or just raise your hand.
Or yes, just say yes.
Or just say yes. Okay. Daniel says no. Okay.
Good.
Okay. Good. We have a number that says
okay.
No. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So I'm glad with the no. So at the end of the day, we'll try to find out whether their answers would change or not, because we are asking of both convenience foods and fast foods. What happened within today? Did you eat that? What about along the week? Along this week? Along this week, what happened?
I mean, luckily I was in Ghana, so I had some local foods in Ghana to eat. So it's just.
Are you sure you didn't
arrive that I started eating that. So
you didn't have convenience food.
So along the week, I ate it twice.
Okay. I think what we want to get out of this session is to be able to understand the broader spectrum of it when we even talk about convenience foods and all that. So yeah, hold on to your answers, and at the end of the day, we'll try to see whether those that answered no, whether it will still be no, or they would have changed their answers by then. So when we refer to convenience food, it's very common. It's like it has become a norm. It's like an everyday word for us. Convenience foods and fast foods. We're simply just referring to things that we can grab and go, things that you are just ready to eat on the go without even having to add any further preparation or anything on it. Now, let's look at this blue tin that I have here. So when we talk about convenience food, fast food is under convenience food. So fast food is the bigger umbrella, and under it we have convenience foods. So under convenience foods, we have the fast foods under that. And a lot of you would have heard now what is really common, these heavily processed ones that they call ultra processed foods. And ultra processed foods, I can say, if we look into our cupboards, or even those that are selling in the office, if they check on their table now, they'll be able to find one or two items that are convenience food. They would have had convenience food without even knowing that they have had convenience food. So all the processed foods, everything, the food that is, so not only going into McDonald's, not going into the KFC, but if you have had any ready-to-eat meal that you quickly shove it into the microwave, it's part of convenience foods. Those are the ultra-processed convenience food. And I think with the next one, we'll be surprised to see this. So with this, I have a two sides here, looking at the processed foods and ultra-processed foods. All this form as part of convenience foods. So with convenience foods, you can see that even those that said no, I believe some of them have had bread. Some of them would have had maybe tomato sauce or anything, or even peanut butter. What they just mean by process is that it has changed its shape. It has either been cut open, it has moved out of its natural origin. So it is processed at that point. Now, when we move along that way, we look at the ultra processed foods, which is now having to look at those that not only that they have only changed their natural shape, but they have added something or removed something. So let's see the comparison. So in this, they have freezed it, either taken it out or cut it, so that is processed food. They have done nothing to it. They have not added anything bad. They have not also taken anything good out of it. But let's look at the ultra-processed foods. So with the ultra-processed foods, I've taken food substances and other things from food to prepare them. Now, what is the bad part? The bad part is that something good has been taken out and something bad has been added to it. So there are things like preservatives, other things, artificial formula, they add fat, other things that our body do not need are added at this point. But just to bear in mind, both processed and ultra-processed food all count as convenience food. They are convenience foods for us. So we try to like lean towards those that are so the healthy type of convenience foods, which are just the processed and not the ultra-processed convenience foods. I just have another big slide here to show you more of a difference where they have minimally processed, more processed, and ultra processed, having more examples under it. So I don't know, Robert, which one did you take today? Where did you fall?
Well, I think I had the juice.
You had juice, yeah. So
I had juice, and of course bread. I had bread. Mm-hmm. So those were the things that I've had today.
Yeah. So I think at the beginning, as I said, those that said no would have had a juice today. They would have had bread today. So all those are form part of convenience food for us. Okay. So let's. Okay. So, but I wanted to just find out how much people eat convenience food. How bad is it? Is it that we just looking at what we now know of what falls under convenience food, including the fast foods, how much do we eat? So this was a national survey looking at just fast foods. So that is the ultra processed convenience foods. And what you can see here, look, within the younger folks, almost 40% of them at a few times in a month have gone to eat in fast food joints. And with those that said they never even ate it, very low. Well, quite a bit more when you look at the older adults. But this just tells you that majority of us, even not the convenience, but majority of us, when it comes to fast foods, a lot of us consume fast foods within a day, within the week, or even in a month. So why do we choose fast foods? So Robert, why did you choose yours? What made you to pick it? Why do we eat fast food?
I mean, like I said, I was at work and I was hungry. I had nothing to eat, so I had to grab a bottle of juice. Then I had some pastries. I had a certain type of bread that looks like cake, but it's bread. So I bought that just to keep my energy going.
Keep your energy going. So it was the word that came out from it was that it was convenient at that point. That was the best go. What are some of the other reasons why we choose this type of foods? You can just put something in the chat. Yeah.
Time management.
Diet management.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's one thing I'm looking for. Mm-hmm. Which we all agree to. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people not sure what to eat, what to grab, uncertain of what is healthy and not what is healthy or that.
Yeah, which is right. So I think at the point that we do not plan, we don't know what to eat and all that, it is something that we can just grab anything that comes. So just
I wanted to say they are cheap, but that is relative because they may be cheap for someone, but not cheap for others.
Yeah, but relatively, well, not for others, but if that person, compared to having to cook, then fast foods are cheap. As compared to having to like put all the efforts in to be able to get your meal, then they are cheap. So that was the first point I just dropped. So they are cheap.
But they also taste good. They taste good.
That was what I was looking for.
Another thing is could be cost of living, the budget. You've got a tight budget. So you might be looking to live within what you've got coming in. So maybe that's the reason why people eat certain things.
Yeah.
And also time constraints. So it's easily accessible. You don't have to cook anything. So
just grab and go. Today I was listening to the news. They said the Prime Minister visited some grocery shops to see the food prices, and they were interviewing some mothers. And what you just said about the cost of living, people have to I had to resort to this rather than having to cook in the house. They just had to do this because it's cheap and they'll be able to afford it. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the taste is the 10. So quick, easy to go. We just grab it and you are on the go. And now what is interesting is you don't even have to go there. They've made a delivery service that as I'm sitting here, I can just order a fast food and then knock on my door and I pick it. So it has become so easy for us to eat fast food. And then now the tasty part of it. So that is the good things about it. We have looked at the good things. What about how bad is it? How detrimental is it for us? I would just go through this. So this is a human body that they try to just mimic the impact of fast food. So I'll just go through some of them. So a few of them. So first of all, looking at depression. So especially with fast foods, junk foods. So not just convenience food, but with junk foods, the fast foods, joints and all that. When we eat them, what happens is that they contain a lot of chemicals that increase inflammation. And when you have increased inflammation, it affects your brain, it affects your mental health. Hence, you get more depressed. So a lot of research has been linked to fast foods and depression together. Another important one is the high blood pressure. And this is what makes the food tasty, the salt in it. So unlike your house, you agree and add certain high amount or certain type of salt, which we'll look at later on, called monosodium glutamate. You agree and add that if you are cooking at home, but they add that, which makes the food tasty. However, the negative part of it is that it's tasty, but there's sodium in it. So the sodium in it makes us to have an increase in our blood pressure. So which can affect a lot of things with us, heart failures and all that. Now, also the weight gain. Most of it is not about it being tasty. It's also about the size. When you go to a fast food joint, the amount people eat, if they were in the house, maybe they would have washed, they would have checked the plate they are using and all that. But when you are out or in the fast food joint, people don't check that. They just consume. So you have extra calories with it. And with that, you end up gaining weight that you did not even intend for. Then let's look at also linked to the high blood pressure, I said, things to do with heart disease and stroke, because it contains, most of our fast foods contain cholesterol, high level of fat cholesterol, raising our blood pressure, which can cause heart diseases and stroke. So these are just a few from this picture that I've shown here, but there are a lot of them to do with the blood spike, our insulin resistance, and a lot more. Now, I have a few here that I also wanted to just add to that image or that body one. So the most processed foods add additives, preservatives, chemicals, and these are not something that your body is able to tolerate to some extent. So it becomes a lot for your body to be able to tolerate. And they are low in nutrients as compared to the health. But another very important one is the addiction with it. There's this YouTube video that I'll leave in the chat after this. A UK doctor tried 30 days to stay on fast foods and see what happened. And at the end of it, they did a brain test called MRI to check his brain. And it was really interesting how his brain started to function, how the craving started to get in. So it is linked to addiction. A lot of studies has been linked to that. So what happens with our normal body is that our system has been wired in a way to reward us when we do something good. It's done for survival, to be able to let you survive. Now, when you do anything good, that is like eating or anything, it allows your brain is able to release a chemical called dopamine. And the dopamine tells the brain that, okay, this person has done well, let's reward him, let him do it again. So it's like that repetitive behavior. Let me do it again. Now, what happens with fast food is when you eat fast foods, the release of this reward system is high, very high, as compared to eating a healthy meal. So you are locked in that cycle of your brain being in that distance of reward. Not you doing it, but your brain is in that craving, that addictive stage of you wanting to have it, and you must have it, which is one of the serious things with it. And they have related it to even addiction like cocaine and all that, like substance and other drugs, because that craving, the craving you have for fast foods and all that remains the same when you eat fast food. So that's something important that we have to look out for. Yeah. And that's the interesting thing that I think scientists, and I know a lot of us will have that question. Why is it that when I'm eating well, my brain will not rather reward me and let me eat well and not fall sick? But rather when I'm eating this, that my brain has to like release dopamine and let me be in this cycle of addiction. So it's something that I think we as scientists, we are all looking into it. And somebody who will get an answer or how to get out of it will be very interesting for all of us. Now that we have gone through to know what convenience foods are, which involves our fast foods, we know why we eat it. We also know the detrimental effects of eating fast foods. Can we avoid convenience foods or fast foods entirely? This is my second part of the question. Robert, do you think you can do that?
No.
Well, I mean, I can, but I think, like I said, I think the environment influences what you can and cannot. So if I'm at workplace and I'm very hungry and I don't have anything else to eat, it will be difficult to say that because fast food are not good, I would go hungry. But of course, there's other ways that you can do. Maybe I could have cooked from home and sent it to workplace. But that is if the workplace is friendly. If the workplace has, because most of the foods that we cook at home, you need to heat it before you can eat it.
Yeah.
So if the work environment do not have those facilities, then it kind of influences your convenient food eating behavior. So yeah, I mean, I can, but if the environment facilitates the process.
I would say yes, that's true, but I don't think you can. You cannot. For example, I think you can, as you mentioned, the fast foods. What about the convenience foods? Can you avoid having juice, bread, anything that is diced, anything that is outside its natural environment? Is that possible? It's not possible because we cannot live without certain things.
Exactly. Yeah. Again, if you can't do it on your own, but then most of the time you are influenced by people around you. Again, it's the environment.
Yeah.
So if I come to your house and you offer me a drink, and I say that, oh, me, I don't drink. I mean, it's like culturally, it's like I'm trying to say that I'm more careful than you or something. So sometimes we just try to oblige what we are offered, and that is an issue. So it is again the environment that would determine whether you can or cannot.
But it has also become our part of life, that where we live or the environment that we live in, what is available to us. Certain things like this becomes really, really difficult to avoid. And there are studies that have tried to put people that said, no, I'm not going to touch convenience foods or fast foods. They couldn't. Eventually, they gave in, because around us, your breakfast cereals are convenience foods, your other things, the chocolate bar you have picked is convenient. There are a lot of convenience foods that if you take out your fast foods, a lot of convenience foods that you can't do without. So I would boldly say the answer is no. I don't think with where we live in, it is possible to entirely avoid convenience foods. Fast foods, maybe, which we'll look at later on. But for convenience foods, it is very difficult. So now that we cannot, it's like we have gotten to that crossroads that we know what convenience foods are, we know what fast foods are, we know why people go for them, we know the detrimental effects of them. What can we do to be able to cross it now that we cannot avoid it entirely? Is there a way of choosing healthy convenience foods? Is there even such a thing? Is there such a thing as a healthy convenience food? Let's say you want to grab something on a go, you don't have time. Is there something like that you think you can add? There are some ways that you cannot even add healthy to it, but do you think we can have healthy convenience foods?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
For instance, if I could choose maybe whole meal bread instead of just white bread.
That's true. Yeah, which is convenience foods because the bread is baked, it's diced. So yeah, but it is a healthy option. That's true. Any more?
Or maybe salads, like the packed salads. I could choose another dressing rather than mayonnaise, or maybe a low-fat mayonnaise or something. That is even an issue, because as to whether it's really a low-fat, I don't know. Sometimes it's not really. I don't trust them.
Oh, you don't trust that it is low fat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some oats.
But then somebody was saying something.
Yes, I was saying we could have some oats porridge.
Oat porridge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oats.
Yeah. Yeah. That's Yeah. All right. Yeah, I think yeah, and I think what you said earlier, I'll come to some of the points that about how we can even avoid that. But yeah, that's true. We can. It's possible for us to have healthy convenience foods. We can be able to choose healthy convenience foods. So if we can do that, the second part is the strategies how to be able to avoid the fast foods. How can we reduce the amount of fast foods that we have? So that when we are rewarding ourselves, yes, we reward ourselves, but not all the time rewarding ourselves with it or having it to be a way of life. So these are some of the healthy convenience foods that I came across, which I think one of my favorite here is the sardines, the canned sardines. So these are quite healthy. These are minimal. So you saw that what I showed earlier about the process and the ultra process. So these are minimal processed ones. They are processed foods, all right, because they are outside their natural state. They have also been conveniently packaged for us, like the sardines, the frozen fruits, and all that. But these are healthy options to go for. These are just a few, but as we go through, we'll try to see how we can choose the healthy ones out of them all the time. I think one of the things I've had, I said sardine, apart from sardine, yeah, yogurt and the frozen fruits. Even though frozen fruits doesn't sometimes sound like or taste like the actual fruit, but it is one of the healthy convenience foods that you can carry along. Robert, you mentioned going to work. Some of the things that you can carry along, still have a bit of convenience food, but a healthy convenient food. Mm-hmm. If you have any question at this point, you can ask me, please. Okay, so now these are just a few of the healthy convenience foods that we looked at. But how do we choose healthy convenience foods or reduce the amount of fast foods? My first one that I always go for is being a food detective, a food label detective. We did some series of sessions some time ago on this program on how we could effectively read food labels. It's like being illiterate in the food industry, being able to know what you are ingesting. So one of the very easy ways the UK has done it is what we call this traffic light system. The traffic light is so easy. So if you go to a food joint or you are picking a convenient food, go for those with more greens in it. Avoid the red. The amber, maybe, but always go for more greens in it. The greens, just without reading or even when you are in a hurry trying to do anything, just by looking at the traffic light, you look at those that have more green. So I'm having two products I'm comparing. I'll quickly pick the one that has more green as compared to the other. The red is those showing very high. So this is an example of a drink showing really high for sugar here. I also have an example of another convenience one, Kit Kat. I think this is one a lot of us always grab it in our bag on our way. It's a milk chocolate bar. And look at the number of red in this. 3 red out of the 4. So the fat is red, saturated fat is red, the sugars are red. And then all this is really high and you should avoid it. So when it comes to reading food labels, be just, if you are even in a hurry, just have a quick glance about it and you would always choose the right one. You pick the better option, relatively the better option as in it. Apart from the easy traffic light, we also have this nutrition facts. If you have, if any of you have any food product with you now, you can just check behind it. So we have the traffic light, we have the nutritional facts at the back. So the nutritional facts, if you have a bit of time, you try to just look at the percentages they have here. This is telling us the percentage I need to consume within a day. So just by going to KFC, having the chicken breast, for my sodium, I've almost had half of my sodium with just that one chicken breast. So my sodium for the day is already, the allowance is already gone. So if I have that in the morning or even the evening, then what happens? That means I'm exceeding the recommendations, which will have a detrimental effect on you. So this one also, by looking at the percentages, it's just easy for you to be able to tell whether this product is good for me or not. So one rule of thumb is go for products that have lower percentages of this, including the calories of your daily intake. Now, the last one on food label is the ingredients list. So when you look at
Evans, someone was saying that the traffic light, most of the green options are fewer. They are either, so there's access problem. So they are either fewer or expensive. So it's not as easy as we follow that traffic lights system. But even though that is what should be done. Yeah, I don't know whether that is an observation for everyone, but I think that's what someone is saying.
Well, for me, I don't think sometimes the brand matters with the price. The brand influences the price. So I'm going for what do you call it, Weetabix, and I choose different brands that one influence the price. But this, I would say for me, I haven't. Let me hear from the rest. Have anybody? Is it quite an issue?
It is an issue with food, proper food, natural foods that we're supposed to buy. It's always more expensive than the other cheap food where you can't. I agree with this previous speaker. Yes, proper food with the green, more expensive than the other foods.
All right, thank you for that. Yeah, so I think relatively, the idea or the aim is let's try to, even within your budget that you're budgeting, and we'll come to talk about meal planning very soon. Always go for, when you compare within the budget that you have, go for the one relatively that have more grains in it. It could be that the other option that you picked had 3 red in it and just only 1 green. And the one that you picked, the substitute, has more grains but the same price with it. Robert, do you have any more?
No, that's it.
Okay, so just so with the food label, so we have the nutrition list, and I was just on this ingredient list. So this is the last one, and this is those that want to be like the serious food label detectives. After looking at your traffic light, looking at your nutritional facts, you can come and look at the ingredients. There's a rule of thumb. When it comes to fast foods or convenient foods, avoid those that have a lengthy ingredients. Those that write a lot or have a lot of this in it, meaning they have added a lot that you don't actually need. You want less additions to your food. So some of them to avoid, they just mentioned, I have here, I mentioned this monosodium glutamate. Monosodium glutamate, as we can pick from the name sodium. So unlike our ordinary salt, yes, it helps us. The food is tasty, it's yummy, it's good, but it has higher sodium. So things to do with high blood pressure, heart diseases, and all that are related to monosodium glutamate. So there are things that to avoid. And also when you look at those fizzy drinks and all that, avoid the sugars. They say no other sugar, but when you come to the ingredient list, you see corn sugar, you see syrup, you see that. They have just different names for sugar. They're just saying that they are not adding the actual sugar, but they're adding other things that are even worse than sugar. So let's try to avoid that. Then apart from reading food labels, what can we do when it comes to trying to keep down with convenience foods or fast foods? One thing that has grown really big these days is how big the fast foods are getting with their portion sizes. There's this advert they even call the Big Mac. It's because it's big. So like, or big fries, they have everything that is like higher sizes. And as we looked at, in terms of calories, the more, the bigger the portion size, the higher the calorie. So if you look at this picture I have here, by reducing just your fries, you're reducing about 42 kilocalories, just by not going for the bigger portion, but a smaller portion of it. And again, with the burger. So when you go to a fast food, aim as much as possible not to go for you might not be able, at home, you would have consumed that larger portion size. So let's just try to replicate it when we are out at out to eat or at a convenience place. Another one is to opt for, I think one of us already mentioned this earlier, where we have to like go for, so when you go to a fast food, we have the fried chicken, we have grilled chicken, we have breaded chicken. The fried and breaded ones have extra oil added to it. They have more oil added to it. One, there's increase in fat. Two, you have increase in calories as compared to if you go for the grilled version. And I think, Robert, what you said earlier, I think I checked some, or even when you go out for some some fast food joints, the grilled version of the chicken, surprisingly, is more expensive. I don't know because people don't patronize it or what the issue is, but because in terms of preparation, it shouldn't have been. So maybe that is another way of using the cost to push us to have fried or the breaded one. But those are what you need to avoid when you go out or when you are selecting your fast foods or convenient food. Then the healthy side. Somebody mentioned of a salad, having salad instead of fries. There's this popular McDonald's joint that now when I go with my little girl, they know that we would have instead of the fries, she'll have carrot bag. So avoiding just the fries and choosing a healthy side can also be very beneficial. So a carrot bag counts towards a 5 a day. Having your salad counts towards your 5 a day, rather than having fries that you load extra calories that you don't need. And one other thing that I wanted to mention here is about the salad. I don't know any of you if you have noticed this. People have salad, but the amount of dressing, the oils and what have you they put on the salad becomes unhealthy again. So it's like I'm trying to eat healthy, but I end up eating unhealthy. Has anybody seen or experienced that? Robert, have you had salad before?
Of course, I've had salad before.
I was going to say that a typical Ghanaian salad has lots of those dressings on.
They'll cut eggs. My wife did salad one time for me. She'll cut eggs, she'll put some dressing and all that. And at the end of the day, you're saying you're eating healthy, but it's not healthy because you have added a lot of oil and fat. One, the fats have increased in it. Your calories have gone really high, which that wasn't your aim.
Yeah, and then I think you put salad creams and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people put salad cream. So with this, what I had in here was just for us to choose the healthy sides. And if you are having salad, go for the low fat dressing. Yeah, there's some oils that are low fat for dressing salad, so that you reduce your fat, you reduce the amount of calories that you consume. Okay. Another one is this: don't be afraid to special order. I don't know whether you have seen somebody at McDonald's or KFC or a fast food trying to like change what comes out from the kitchen. I don't think a lot of people don't mind with it. I don't think they would be so angry with you with it, because instead of just having to take what comes out, the standard, you can make a few tweaks and adjustments, and they're all right with it. So one of us mentioned where we can either go for brown bread or white one, you can choose all that to do. So wheat or whole grain bread. So those tricks and other things, let's look at them. When you get there, think about it. So look at this burger that we had in this picture here. I could say for the burger here, I would rather go for grilled chicken in it instead of the breaded chicken they have in that order to help. So we can make few adjustments to help us to eat well. And so that is how we know we cannot avoid it, but how to reduce or how to choose the healthy options when we are out picking convenience foods or fast foods. But now, back to what Robert was saying, how do we make sure that we reduce it minimally possible, that we don't have to either have convenience foods or even fast foods? Can we do that? One of the things we can do very well is if we do effective meal planning. I would recommend this NHS website to a lot of us here that are ready to try different recipes. So it's called the Better Health. So the Better Health recipe. When you go into it, it gives you a lot of recipes, about 160 recipes. Dinner recipes, lunchbox recipes, other different types of recipes. Not more, some too within our cultural foods are there. I think I just found a few. I think I have one. Yeah, so you see, they even give us breakfast recipes, puddings, barbecue, and all that. They help you to look for inspiration. So when you plan your meal, the idea is that when you plan, so Robert, as I said, going to work, you plan everything before even getting there. You are not hungry at that point. Because when you are hungry at that point, you would just grab anything that is convenient to you. But when you effectively plan what to eat along the day or along the week, then you see that you are good. You won't fall trapped for that. Mm-hmm. So this is one of the recipe they had in the NHS guide. I'll put it in the chat. Robert, if you can put it in the chat for me. It's called NHS Better Health Recipes. Mm-hmm. So they tell you the preparation time, the number of people it serves, and all that. So it's well something that when you have exhausted your cookbook, you could give it a try. It also helps you to even build a shopping list. Now, apart from better planning or better meal planning, another thing we do best is when it comes to our grocery list. And when I mean grocery list, a healthy grocery list. Have you noticed that if you don't have convenient foods, chocolate bar, all those unhealthy foods in your cupboard, you won't eat them. If you don't have it, you can't eat it because it's not at home. You don't have it, so you avoid it. So at the planning stage, plan your grocery list, stick to it. Don't get tempted when you move by that aisle. Just stick to what you have come in and buy the healthy options and go out. And I think the supermarkets are really smart. They put the bad options and all that. And this is for every supermarket you go to. The bad foods and everything are towards the checkout. And they're always in the very easy place that everybody can get to. I don't know why they do that. Why don't they just show us the healthy ones so that if I come in and I'm in a rush, I can get that and go. But they rather put down healthy options. But if you have a healthy grocery list, you stick to it, then you have a healthy shopping that you will do. Then another one is for us to have healthy convenience snacks on the go. So Robert, as you said, when you get to the work, let's say you didn't carry anything or you want to have a snack in case you're hungry, you could dice fruit, have other things along with you. You could have other snacks that will not propel you. What the body works is that when I'm hungry, let's say I'm driving, I'm hungry, I'll have to move to a fast food joint. And at that point, I'm hungry, I'll go for the biggest option. So I don't watch portion size. I don't watch the food label. I just have it because at that point I'm hungry. But if you have healthy snacks on the go, it does help lower your hunger, gives you a better perception to choose the healthy options. I also have this NHS food scanner that I would recommend. I did show it the last time we did food apps on this show. So it's easy to download. You can just check on your phone. So in your app store, or if you have a Google Play Store. So what you just do is go for NHS Food Scanner. It scans everything that has a bar in it. So if you have a barcode, anything with a barcode, it scans it. And it tells you the amount of sugar, the amount of salt, the amount of saturated fat. It gives you a bit of animation on it, and it becomes really interesting. It's also really good for kids if you have it. It does help the children to also start to learn the healthy ways of choosing food. So if you're in the supermarket, they can easily scan 2 options and pick one. It's easy and quick to do. Yeah. So that's some of the features within it. It also has a traffic light that it will show you when you're doing with it. Okay, so this brings me to the end of the show today. The end of the looking at what are healthy, what are the convenience foods and fast foods. What can we do to choose the healthy options from all the lot that are unhealthy out there, so that we are able to tap into the good or the healthy way of eating. So this is a quote which is really inspiring, and I always want to share. So having to see our diet, yes, with no cost of living, things are more expensive now, but let's try to see our diet really like our bank account, how we treasure it. The good foods that we do are the investments for tomorrow. All right, so any questions?
Thank you very much, Evans. So your diet is your bank account. So if you want big portion sizes, your bank account is also fat. If you want small portion sizes, then you have very small amount in your bank account. Should I relate it that way?
No. That is not. That is if you rather eat healthily. Okay. Eat the healthy part. It's like you're investing. It's like me having to invest my money in my bank account. So it gives me more money later on. So you eat well now, you invest more now in your diet, in yourself, and it pays off. It's rewarding later in life.
Okay, great. So so the more you live long, the more you grow your bank account. So I think that's what you're saying. Mm-hmm. So we've been as nutritionists and public health practitioners, we've been talking about this for years and years now, but yet we continue to eat these things. What do you think is the reason?
I honestly think a lot of it has to do with the environment we live in and what we are. And this is somebody has muted me. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, this is to even put for people that are well aware. So that study I said that the UK doctor tried the 30 days. The obesity expert knew of this, but some of them, they still have to consume them. I think sometimes it is the environment we live in. We rush out in the morning, we rush back from work, we don't have the time. To add to that, the cost of living is now biting so hard on us. So I would say people even have that enabling, they want to do it. The environment is not enabling for them to be able to eat healthily. But that doesn't mean we should stop. Let's still fight. Let's still put a conscious effort to do it, to eat healthily.
Okay. So I think I asked that question because it means that the individual is making all the efforts, but the environment in which we live influence the way we behave in terms of food choices and our dietary habits. So there's a need for us collectively to look at the wider environment that influences and try to address those factors that influences the way we behave. And I think that way, because somebody was just saying that, why is it that whoever is responsible for regulating these products, you can talk about advertisement of these products, you can talk about sales of these products at the supermarkets or whatever. Why can't they ask the supermarket to reduce the sales of these products and increase the sales of accessibility of healthy products. But rather, as you say, when you go into the supermarket, they rather put those ones at the extreme end and then bring the bad ones very closer to the beginning, and then people have to buy that. Why is it that you are asking the individual to make choices when we can easily address the problem at the supermarket level? Why are we not doing that?
Yeah, I think that is a big call, which we all try to do, and I don't want to blame a lot with the government, because I think if you also go to the government, their decks and other things, I believe the public health authorities and others are doing a lot to be able to do this. However, when it comes to how the fast foods or even the convenience foods market has grown rapidly over the years, you would know that the center of focus is not you, but about how profits are being made. So given that how profits are being made, what can we do ourselves? How can we do? What do we know? How best can we do? What are the strategies that our individual at our level we can do to eat healthily? The rest, yes, it's an ongoing call, it's still on it, but we cannot rely on them, because if you rely on them, the industries, the food industries and all that have I would say, well, now maybe they are social or corporate responsibility, but they have not always been for the benefit of you, rather than the financial benefits they derive. So yeah, it's a big call. It's something that a lot have been said about it, with little done over the years. I can say this is over decades of people pushing the government, pushing people to have better health strategies out there to help us eat well, which I think, yeah, a bit of efforts have been done. Some success have been in some places, like obesity and other things. However, it's not that enough. It's not enough. What can we do? So as a small group in this today, what can we do? The take-home message, what can we do to not for even only for ourselves, but our family, our children, when it comes to the fast foods, the convenience foods and all that? How do we still live in this environment, pick the healthy options, and leave the really detrimental ones out there? Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, yeah, I think it's something that I don't know, but I think it's the government, if you want to talk about government, because they take a lot of taxes from these multilateral companies that, you know, bring in these foods, and they dare not ask them to not do that, because they will not get those taxes and they cannot run the country. So they are going to be saying that. I just came from Ghana, where some of our research findings have resulted in the government introducing taxes on sugar-sweetened beverages. Now, the taxes are supposed to ensure that companies reduce sugar, the amount of sugar they put in sugar-sweetened beverages. So the less you put, the less tax you pay. But these companies are resistant. They are fighting the government for making this move. And the government too is, you know, because that's where they get their income from, because they take a lot of taxes from them. So it's difficult to hit to the demand of people, individuals, or the society, but also the companies that are selling these products. So yeah, I mean, I think that we can only do our own part, avoid them if you can. But as you say, it is very difficult to completely cut them off, but we can minimize. We can minimize the intake of. I have, for some years now, said that I wasn't going to drink Coke. And it was difficult to do it, but I have managed to avoid it. And there are others that I'm trying to cut. Ice creams, I don't take them. You know, so these are things that it's just just developing the habit of not doing it. Let me just keep quiet so that others can get to do their remarks, and then we can close. Is there any question that anybody wants to ask, or any comments anyone wants to make?
I have a maybe question. It's a form of question and a comment as well, because I find that we make a lot of effort to choose the healthy options when it comes to our main meals, but because we find ourselves in the UK where eating dessert, or what some people call pudding, is the norm, especially if you have little children. They go to school, they eat school meals, they are so used to the desserts. And I find that a lot of what we have is full of a lot of unhealthy stuff, lots loaded with sugar, because the recipes themselves have lots of sugar, lots of double cream, a lot of all those things. So sometimes I personally struggle to find healthier options. Are there any suggestions for healthy desserts? I know you have said the NHS app, but sometimes it's still, you do the thing and you taste it and you're like, no, even your tongue is testifying that no, this is too sweet. And when you reduce, sometimes when you reduce, for instance, the fat, let's say you're baking a cake, when you significantly reduce the butter or the margarine, the chemical reaction doesn't work well. Your cake doesn't rise properly. So there's a defect in the thing. So how are we going to handle this situation?
Thank you, Janet. I think this is all of us
I can see Alice here. Alice,
yeah.
Alice is
Alice is here. Okay.
Alice is the one of the people who have been hammering on these things. Alice, do you want to comment on this?
Okay, before Alice comes in, I would say, yeah, that's true. So in most cases, what we have to is, hello. Yeah. So in most cases, what we have to hammer or to take home more is moderation. So yes, for example, there's nothing you can do to a chocolate bar not to make it a chocolate bar. It's a chocolate bar. What can we do? It's the moderation. It's how much have I had this? Have I met my daily recommendation? Is exceeding my daily recommendation? Can I cut down on this? Can I have it any other day? Can I have it once a week? Can I have it once a month? What can we do? And even with that, if I'm having once a month, how much am I having? My portion sizes, what am I looking at? So I think, it's some of this, if we are more cognizant of some of this, it does help to reduce the amount of sugar, the amount of fat that we take in when eating desserts or the puddings.
Yeah, I think Alice, sorry, Janet, your question is very, very important. And then this ties down to the environment I was talking about, because even at home, you are trying to make the healthy choices. You're trying to introduce fruits and vegetables to the plate of your children. You're trying to encourage them to eat it. They start picking it up, and then they go to school and the unhealthy choices are there. They eat it and they come home. So that mixture is making it difficult to be able to follow the routine. So that's the thing. I think the only thing we can do is, the education shouldn't stop at the individual level. Maybe schools, we should be encouraging schools to be doing this healthier, introducing these healthier foods. There has been a lot of research done to say that, children can be introduced to healthier foods like fruit and vegetables when you ask them to continue to try at least 10 times. So once they continue to taste it for 10 times, they are likely to adopt it. But the thing is, they go back to school and then what you are introducing at home is not there. What happens? So I can use my daughter as an example. So she used to eat a lot of vegetables. When you buy them, she will just chew them raw like that. But she goes to school and they introduce all these things. When she comes home, she doesn't want to eat the vegetables. So it is the environment, again, that is influencing all this. And so our education should not stop at the individual level.
That's true.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm sorry, it's the first time I'm joining. My name is Ifeoluwa Oyedeji. Daniel had shared the link with me, and I wanted to thank you for the presentation, Dr. Daniel and Dr. Robert. Just had a few things. I think almost everybody has said like the same thing and given very cogent points. I'm a diabetes dietitian, by the way, and in the aspect of, I wanted to start with the aspect of the puddings. I was thinking that for the puddings, because food is culture and is environment and everything, that standardization or even trying to make meals, certain times maybe your cake might not mold or it might not come out well, but knowing ingredients at different levels and trying things, and after some time, bringing out a standardized recipe and also sharing that knowledge, just like Dr. Robert was talking about education. Those are the things that we need. So we need new meals and as much as possible. And as far as it's working or it's coming from Ghana, people from Ghana are going to take this because they feel it's healthier, just like the way we've heard about Greek yogurt and many of those things. Then I wanted to say something as regards the conversation about the amount of research that has been done in years and why it feels like this thing is an unending problem. I mean, I was going to say that the human behavior is very, very complex. Yes, we have the government aspect of it, we have the food industry. But for me, because I meet people one-to-one, I see that even human beings are the most complex people. And it's not a factor of that they don't want to do certain things. It's genetic and also hormonal. Dr. Robert was saying a lot of things about the MRI and so many things like that. So that being said, I will say one solution to that keeps going back to educating people at the granular, because we are going to make the choices by ourselves. So the education must continue in the classes. It must continue as individual, as a nutritionist, as a dietitian. As far as we can meet those individual people, we would always get answers. And the last thing that I think I've seen is in the aspect of prevention, in the aspect of checkups. So we always look at food alone, but we don't look at certain biomarkers. That is maybe weight, we don't look at HbA1c and the likes. We are waiting for many of those complications to happen. So we need many of those prevention testing, going to classes, coming to classes, so that as people can detect many of these things early, they can see how important diet looks like. And that's my sense.
Yeah, thank you very much, Oyedeji, for this technical insight. So I think you've said it all. I think we can continue to do this. If we don't target the right stakeholders, we probably will be talking like this for the next 100 years, and nothing will change. So we need to begin to kind of re-strategize the way we embark on education. One of the things that my university is doing is now moving to the communities and moving to schools to do demonstrations, including cooking demonstrations and educating students, children at that young age, to continue to adopt healthier food choices and dietary behaviors. I think that is the way to go. And as we also engage at the government level or the stakeholder that matter. Because time is up now, and I think I can see Orlando is very ready to take over. Yeah, Orlando is ready. And just eating food without physical activity is not going to help us. And so Orlando is going to take us through this physical activity part of the show. And I would advise that don't go away, just join, at least even if it is just for 5 minutes. It will make a difference. So thank you very much, Dr. Evans, again for agreeing to come and do this, and we'll call on you again. I know you are always here every time. But when we have a topic that we think you can exhaust it for us, we'll call on you again to come and lead a discussion. For you, the audience who have been contributing and listening, thank you very much. But I'm sure you have picked up something. If you haven't picked up something, listen to the audio again. And I think that you can make at least one change. And if you make that one change, the next time you make another change, you continue to do that. And at the end, I think we can all together make that change. Thank you very much. And yes, Orlando, you can take over.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that outro. Hi, people. I hope everyone's going to stay on. Like I said, even if you just do 10, 15 minutes, it's going to benefit you in the long run. So welcome to tonight's exercise portion of today's session. We've got another intermediate/advanced boxer size session coming your way. For tonight's session, all you'll need is plenty of space, plenty of water, because it's quite humid where I am right now in North Manchester, and a good mental attitude. All right, so as we do, let's get straight into it with a warm-up. We're going to shadow skip for 30 seconds. Let me get my tunes organized. So we're going to shadow skip, or you can have a stick and roll on your face, give this a regular skip. Okay, get ready. 3, 2, 4. Let's get straight into it. Let's go. Oh, keep it nice and right. Switch the body on. 2, 1. Okay, next move. We're going to jab high, cross low. Jab high, cross to the body. Let's go. Here we go, people. 3, 2, 1. Let's get uppercuts now. Let's roll them shoulders up. Roll them shoulders. Ready, roll them shoulders. Roll the whole shoulder capture up. 3, 2, 1. Okay, take 15 seconds. Have a quick sip of water if you need it. 1. Okay, people, when you're ready, let's go straight back into that warm-up. So next move, we've got straight. All right, so facing forward. We're not in our guard, we're facing forward. And we're going to go straight for 30 seconds. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Go. Three, 2, 1. Okay, next we've got body shots. We're going to dip, roll up the hips now and the upper hips. Dip, body shot, dip, body shot, let's go. Oh, it should have done us in 30 seconds. Three, two, 1, 9, 4. Okay, take 30 seconds for a breather, and then we'll get into round number 1. Well done. Okay, my people, listen in, let's get busy now. So round number 1, we have a defensive combination round. All right, so working on our combos, and we're gonna add a couple of defensive moves in there as well. All right, so as per usual, our rounds will be 3 minutes. Okay, remember we're doing more intermediate to advanced rounds now. But nice and easy for the first 60 seconds, we're just gonna go jab, cross, hook, cross, all for strength. So in your guard, again, if you're right-handed, your left hand forward, right hand slightly back. It's gonna be a jab to the face, cross to the face, hook to the face, cross. Once again, nice and easy, power. Nice and strong. Remember, if you've been on the call for a while now, remember boxing comes from the floor up. Okay, it's not just about the arms and moving the arms and shoulders. Really punch from the floor, get your power from the floor. So watch again in my stance. See, I'm pushing through the floor. Watch again. Okay, we're gonna go there for 60 seconds, and then we're gonna add some moves to it. All right, people, round 1, let's get busy now. Come on, join me in the ring, let's go. Get ready now. Start off with the jab, cross, left hook, cross. Get ready now. Get ready, let's go in the drop. Let's get ready now. Okay, we got now. We'll get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's go, people. Keep up going now. Come on. 20 seconds. 10 seconds. Jab, cross, hook, cross. 3, 2, 1. Okay, time. Okay, let's add some defensive moves to that now. So we're gonna duck and we're gonna weave right now. So remember the start. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're gonna dip down, come around to the right, dip down, come around to the left, hook, cross. Remember, more advanced combinations now. So watch again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down to the right, down to the left, hook, cross. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's go. Seconds. Come on, work with me now. Come on. 3, 2, 1. Hey, very few down. The last minute. Okay. Press, press, go, leave, press, go, leave, press. So we don't leave, press twice. Let's go. Last minute. 3, 2, 1. Put it together now. Come on. Thirty seconds. Come on, please. Ten seconds. Keep throwing that combination. Let's go. Time, people. Rest. Back to your corners now. Yeah, quick water break. We've got 30 seconds to rest. Ten seconds, people. And we're in the ring for round number 2. Okay, people listening now. Okay, so now we've got a combination round with legs. All right, so we're going to change it every minute. But for the first minute, listen nice and carefully. So in your guard, we've got 10 straights for speed, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 5 squats straight away. Okay, then we go back straight in. 10 straights, 5 squats. Okay, that's your first minute. And I'll stop the clock and explain the second minute. So 10 straights for speed. So jab crosses mixed in with 5 squats. And you're going to recycle that every time. Let's go, people. Let's get busy now. Come on. Let's get busy. 3, 2, 1. Let's go, people. Keep going now. "15 seconds, my people. Keep going. Four, 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's it. 1 down. Go. Go. Next minute. Got 10 total cuts for speed. And then got 5 full squats. Here on our squat, 4 bounces for 5, 4, 5, back to your uppercut. Let's go, 3, 2, 1, let's go. 25 seconds to go. 10 uppercuts for speed. 5 full squats. Come on. 3, 2, 1. Okay, last one now, people. Last one. So now we've got stand above the head. Okay, we're not too worried about speed here. 8, 9, 10, and then we've got 5 jump squat. Okay, 10 above the head, 5 jump squat. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Let's get bigger, people. Let's go. Halfway there, people. Let's go. Mm. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Time. People back to your corners now. Take a 30-second break. 10 seconds, people. Final round coming up now. Okay, people, listen in now. Let's do this now. All right, so last round. We've got a combination round, mixed in with defensive skills, mixed in with legs again. Sorry. All right, so we're going to go here in our guard now. So we're going to go jab, cross. I'm just going to dip the shoulder to the right. Okay, and cross. Watch again. Jab, cross, dip, cross. From there, we're going to go jab, cross, slip, cross, slip, cross. And then from there, we're going to go jab, cross, slip, cross, slip, cross, slip, cross for 3. Okay, from there, we've got 5. Let's go 6. We've got 6 lunges. 6 lunges, even out. We're going to go here, forward lunges. Okay, 6 lunges. And then we go straight back into the defensive work here. That's 1. Then we got 2. And then bam, 3. Back to your lunges, people. Okay, that's your first 90 seconds. Then we're going to switch it up. Get ready, people. Come on. Get ready. jab, cross, slip, cross. 1, 2, 3 times. And then we've got 6 lunges. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, stop. Lunges, straight back to the hinges. Let's go for 30 seconds left before we make a change. Seconds, people. Keep working through it. Jab, cross, slip, cross. Three, 2, 1. Okay, 90 seconds. So now, instead of going forward lunges, we're going to go reverse lunges. Couples take the same. So remember, jab, cross, slip, cross, jab, cross, 2 slip crosses, jab, cross, 3 slip crosses. But now we're going to reverse lunges. We're stepping it high. Behind. Behind. Let's go 3, 2, 1. Go. Keep going, people. Come on. 60 seconds left. Seconds left. Nice. Wow, that time, people. Well done. Well done. Okay, take a quick 30-second water break, and then we will stretch up. Well done, people. Top one. All right, people, join me back in the middle. Let's get a quick stretch up. So we're going to start with the next. We're going to go next side to side. Okay, ear to shoulder. So reach across like so. Let's hit the hips, nice and slow. 3, change direction. Okay, arm across the chest, pull out the elbow. Same arm behind the head, pull just beside the elbow. Change your arms. Same arm behind the head. Okay, last one. Let's hit the quads. We're gonna go heel to bone. Heel to bone. Keep those knees together. Change legs. Calm down, shake it all off. And that's time, people. Welcome, people. Kind of you around.
Yes, I'm here, Orlando.
Yes.
Amazing workout. Can we be expecting another boxer size session for next week as well?
Yeah, so we've got 2 weeks of boxer size left in this particular segment. Yeah.
Amazing. That's so good to hear. And then next week as well. Oh yeah, a shout out to Dr. Robert and Dr. Evans for their presentation before. So next week we will be back with Dr. Hibbah and Dr. Alice will be joining us and we'll be going through nutrition and gene expression. So if you guys are interested, join us next week from 6 p.m. as well. We look forward to seeing you. And if you have any remaining questions from today, feel free to email us. I've put our email in the chat box. So it's health@khan.org.uk and we will get back to you. So thank you guys so much. And I hope you enjoyed the seminar talk as well as Orlando's workout. And we'll see you next week. Enjoy your evening, everyone. Bye.
Peace out.
Bye. Thank you. See you next week.